Good day, good people. Another fine day in the year of the Vibrant. We are back. We're so back with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are at part 3, I believe, of episode 3 or chapter 3. I think that they're labeled as episodes, right? Yes. Something happened in the courtroom. Maybe some sort of smoke bomb or gas bomb went off. Let's see what the true nature of what's going on is. I've been curious for about a week now. It's almost like the courtroom was attacked when our client took the stand, the testimony stand. I guess the witness stand, but he took the stand regardless. What are just happening here in there? Mr. Naruhodo, I've managed to find out what happened. Please, yes, elaborate. I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade. Ah, here it goes. A type of exploding device that releases smoke. A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing ninjas use. They're just making sure that everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long. But who would have done something like that? The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. Flee the courtroom? Why? Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear. A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger, rather, that Mr. McGilded was just talking about? Are we saying a 15-year-old child did this murder? Not at all saying that's impossible or, like, entirely far-fetched, but... you know? My thoughts exactly. So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilded, actually? There are so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions, along with the young girl. Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk for what possible benefit to herself? Very true. Like, why would well, that's not true. I was gonna say, why would the accused or potential murderer, if they are the murderer, why would you come there? But I was like, I guess you want to see if everything goes through as you maybe want like a first-hand account. There's a different, so like I guess it's kind of the different kinds of criminals. You know what I mean? There's another matter that's troubling me. What's that? The 20 pence. Huh? Oh, according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, or Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly, but now it seems like there were in fact 5 passengers, which means the figures don't seem to add up again. She's right. That is strange, unless they just snuck on. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed to the courtroom. Okay. Did I get something from this? Or did I accidentally click the button? I must have accidentally clicked the button. Did I? Okay, yeah, it is. It's not just R that does the button, but it's also the trigger, so that's good to know. Let's go. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Thank you, Big Preach Officer. We'll be there straight away. Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial. Well, everything soon enough, Miss Susato. Susato. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes. Oh man, if she had heard me say that, I would have got Susato tossed. 18th of February, 1 p.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. My boy McGilded and a woman. There's the young girl next to Mr. McGilded. Look. She must have been the one to cause a whole disturbance before. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded. Now then, Mr. Von Zeeks. My lord. I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which veiled the proceedings earlier. It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, of the typical sort employed by the army. Goodness gracious, the army! What in the devil's name? It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery. But she was caught. and now occupies the stand. Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior? Can she speak? If I may, my lord. Yes, McGilden? I think perhaps I had to explain here why it is that this wee lass here was in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that. 'Tis all tied up with the events of that night, so it is. Very well, Mr. McGilden, give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case. I also am only going to record for about 30 minutes right now. And then I'll actually record the rest of it tomorrow. I was just like, I have a little bit of time. Let me play a little bit. We're about maximizing our minutes. When we got them. Just what did happen that night? His eyes buggering all about, dude. It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. That is something he should have gotten. But I'll keep it a buck with you. There's so many times Phoenix Wright hasn't gotten, like, what happened on the night. From his client. I actually don't know if that has happened. Well, no, it's a couple of times. I can think of a few. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. And then, begorra, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at me feet, so I sat up on me seat across from him. And then I turned to find where the scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up, hiding her wee self away. I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding the omnibus, is that correct? 'Tis exactly as the defense counsel said. This lass was the fifth passenger, my lord. I was gonna say either an objection or a gavel schmack. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Are you ready, counsel? I said, are you ready? The judge is now a member of D-Generation X. Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. Looks like he has unfortunately uncovered a truth. Of some regard. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then, begorra allowed, there was the one that I actually wanted to press immediately was this one. Had come from there. I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except for you yourself and the victim. I did, so, sir, so I did, as far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well now, 'tis a queer thing. 'Tis a queer thing? Happy Pride Month. That wee scream I heard as I woke up. It came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside. Good gracious. What is bodacious? Under the backside? And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a wee cubbyhole there for storage. Mr. Otto, we can examine the omnibus for ourselves, remember? Oh yeah, of course. The whole bus was submitted as evidence, huh? This would be a very good time to have a thorough look inside. Is it gonna add something else to my court record? Because I've already been in here. Yeah. You know what could be interesting? Oh. Wasn't there stuff in here when we came in here the first time? There was stuff in here. There was stuff in here. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is. I'm so glad we examined that earlier. That's... Hold on a minute. Was that the point of the smoke screen? To take the stuff out of there?
Hold it!
I'm gonna press everything again, then. You say she was hiding herself? Aye, that's right. 'Twas hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball when our eyes met well. Me heart nearly stopped beating in me chest. Ugh, you're really overreacting to this. Still and all, I pull her out from under there and sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chin wag with her. The seat opposite? That's right, the seat next to the dead gentleman over there. You sat this young girl next to a corpse, sir? Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see. This urchin is crazy. And while I was in the middle of the street talking to her, I heard another, I heard another fella scream, a fella's voice this time. Presumably that was Mr. First who was sitting on the roof decks. Right again you are, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly. So you were looking, so you sat her down. When they looked down, they saw blood on the hands. They would not have seen her because he sat her there. Is there another person in here, or did she do it? In other words, the previous witness did not, in fact, see you at all, Mr. McGill. What they believed to be yourself was actually the victim, and the victim, rather, was this girl and the late Mr. Manson. Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight. Huh. It is certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature. And readily confused, perhaps, with this young girl. They are both short. They're about the same height. And that, of course, with the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses. I do wonder how Mr. Naruhodo must be feeling. Being the defendant's lawyer and yet finding himself, what did I say? What did I read? I do wonder how you must be feeling, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. Let's just say it's trying. We certainly had precious little time to talk to Mr. McGilda before the trial. But we mustn't be dispirited. We must just try to learn all the facts that we can. Ha! When we arrived in London this morning, I didn't see any, my day rather, panning out like this. Mr. Naruhodo, no grumbling, even in your head. How did you know? That stuff was removed from the... so it almost feels like she's in leagues to cover for him. Did he really do it? I don't know. On the night in question, I took the... Yep. Okay, so never mind. Let's just press this as well. And when you first got to the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was empty and there was no one on the roof either. You were the first passenger, as it were? I see. Oh, that's interesting. And that's why I took the backside I did. 'Tis the most comfortable, so it is. Do you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? By all means, 'tis how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite to one in which the poor gentleman who was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, 'tis the most comfortable where I feel most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well. He doesn't like what he's... Oh, man. I'm so curious, you know what I mean?
Hold it!
I think at this point, he probably also realizes that the crime scene was tampered with. I'm kind of interested to see if anything else was tampered with on the bus. But I don't believe so. A loud thud, you say, and a scream? Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? 'Twas like the sound of something falling to the ground. That sort of noise. You think it was the sound of Mr. Manson falling to the floor, having been stabbed? Well now, you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage but the fella on the floor. You didn't see anyone, but at the same moment you did hear a scream. From the seats above the roof deck, I presume. Not above me, my lord, no. 'Twas inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether talking about the scream, no. I was too stunned by the desperate sight before me eyes. Yep, you sat him up. You sat him up, the victim, you mean? That I did. On to seat across from me, as I said. I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. Sir Rory stabbed himself, actually. And you wouldn't just leave a dead man lying on the floor now, would ya? 'Tis common courtesy, so it is. I find that a little hard to believe. Lord Von Zeeks. Why would that be? You wait to find a man laying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is. Well now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest. Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would even want to see me dead. So I do try, where it's all possible, to avoid getting myself into in a tangle with trouble. Are you suggesting you were just gonna leave the man there? Heavens alive, no. I was intent on reporting it, so I was. Only I had a mind to find out whys and wheres first. Wherefores first. The whys and wherefores? Right you are. There were some details I want to understand before anyone else got to meddling. That wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do just the same? Yeah, that scream you'd heard at the same time as the thud of the collapsing. Yeah, I was gonna say we pressed everything. Thank you, I've heard enough. The events as explained are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is this? Who's that girl? What's her name? Is she cool? Is she lame? Talk about what's her name. It's not Pepper Ann. Her name is Gina Lestrade. Gina, okay. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket. What? This girl here is a petty thief? Order, order! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question. Oh! She killed him. Killed him with purple in this song. How dare you? What is the meaning of this? What? The girl, she's gone. Well, open your eyes. What do you see? Gina's now over there. I'm over here. Goodness gracious, ow. What's the point in that little side step? I know what you lot were thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. This dirty little dipper, you'll say, slipped up and got caught on the job. Got herself back into a corner, so she knifed the gent. Go on. That's what's in your heads, ain't it? Ain't it? No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're not here to determine the— Oh! Oh, he got greened! Hey, wave it out the way, my boy. Get out your eyes. Okay, hold on a minute. She fancy with the coin work, though. Look, knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I got for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, all right. They may not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. In what I do? Let me guess. You don't count smoke guns amongst weapons for thugs? Uh-oh. Oh, this? Yeah. This was in the bag I lifted the other day. Wait, what? This was in a bag you lifted the other day, down where they keep the four-wheel drags. Nice, isn't it? I like the pink best. Don't wave that thing in my direction again. So, you admit that you were riding the omnibus on the night in question. I ain't admitting nothing. She's alright, lass. She can tell him the truth now. Alright, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said. The court accepts this girl, Mrs. Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Oh, okay. I don't know about valid. Something's going on here. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. And if I don't? You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question. Alright. If I have to. Well, you got to. And now we gotta double test what the girl saw. So I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses and all that. But it was right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I tell ya, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place, huh? It's pitch black in there. It's pitch in there, rather. Then after a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jumped out of me skin, I did. And the scream just came out, huh? Just because of that, this well found me. Oh, well, here's the thing. If you didn't kill the person, somebody would have found you, and it would have probably been the police, and you would have been the #1 suspect like you are right now, not for nothing. It's because of that this swell found me. He did help me get away, mind. Why'd he do that? Yeah, he let you go. I fail to understand why you would let the street urchin go, Mr. McGilded. Oh, 'tis simplicity myself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew it for a fact. How? As I'm sure I said before, sir. Yeah, you were sitting on the thing. I was sitting right on top of where she was hiding herself. I think a demonstration is called for. This is where I was sat that night. And the cubbyhole of which she was spoken is underneath this seat, I presume. Yes, it does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of this girl's stature. What is going on? Because there was stuff in here the last time we looked in here, before the smoke grenade. So, if she did the smoke grenade, she must have also moved the stuff, I would assume. Aye, but of course the wee lass was stuck in here, and the big part of this is I don't understand why. Because it feels like now we're about to win this case with faulty evidence, which is interesting. Because I'd park myself on that seat for the duration. Ah. So you see, that's why I let the last bolt. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd wanted it. Yep, I even said that earlier. They'd automatically assume that she'd have done it. But I couldn't live with myself as a young girl whose life was ruined when all this time I knew that she was innocent. Even though you must have realized your action will result in your own innocence being called into question. Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a punt to my old good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass. Dude, did he do it? He might have done it. I'd like to believe in my client, but he looks real bad in my eyes right now, even though now this statement has made him look the best of all time. What a perfect gentleman. My lord. This fine example of a man can't possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir. I don't like this. With calm, calculated reason, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. I don't like this. Am I gonna have to convince them otherwise? Even though I'm in the innocent now? Saints alive! All 6 members of the jury consensually leaning into a verdict of not guilty? Mr. Naruhodo, it must mean what? That we're victorious, huh? Her also is like, are we? We've won? Are you sure?
Objection!
Oh boy, he pulled out the whole boot. If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray do forgive the discourtesy. This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Emotion? The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature. What do you mean, his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation. Yeah, okay. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report. Good lord! The evidence has been tampered with. Okay. In order to corroborate Mr. McGilden's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from underneath the seat. What? No, Naruhodo-san. Well, now that he's brought it up, I don't know at all who could have done it. If it ain't somebody in our list of people, and she's in our list of people now, right? And Gina. I low-key don't even think she did it for real, but like, I don't know if I believe anybody here had done it. Unless he stabbed himself. Fair play, you two well, I say you two couldn't have done it. I think there is a real question as to when did the victim die? Sometime between 10 and 11. So, in my opinion, there is a world, there is one singular world, I believe, where he could have... Oh, but they saw somebody with 2 bloody hands. I don't know who that is the real question. If they both saw that person with 2 bloody... I was gonna say there's a world where this guy knocked to enter the inside cabin and it would not open. And most of me believes because the body was in there the entire time. Mr. McGilden was on there first. He went on there second. Mason went on there second. He would get stabbed. And he would, I guess, look fine the entire time. Oh, man. I'm trying to think. Anywho, we'll continue. How could such a devious contrivance possibly have been affected, counsel? Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constable area in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled to the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. That is true. I remember that from the last time we recorded. I was like, okay, well, somebody tiny could fit in there, but not... It'd have to be like a baby, you know what I mean? Well, my Nipponese friend. Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail as any self-respecting practitioner of the law would. Pray, what did you find the condition under the seat compartment to be? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Go ahead, you tell the court now, fella. How this is all just an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Von Zeeks. Well, counsel, do you have something to say on this matter? How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of the... It wasn't empty. We did look. I really don't know if giving this answer is helping my cause as a counsel for the defense, but as far as I remember at least, when I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside of it, yes. Are you sure, counsel?
Ara, be wasted. What are you saying now, you daft doll? I thought you were on my side here.
And he's like, wait a minute. You could have probably gotten away with this. I'm not on your side, I'm on the side of the truth. What games are you playing? Your task is to defend the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position?
I don't know!
With his bug eyes, that's what I wanted. As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state the facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. Interesting.
'Tis not altogether pleasing, fella.
I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilden.
Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interest here, lad. Now, Tin. A fella's memory is a curious thing and not altogether reliable. No, the court must consider the facts. That there cubbyhole is under the seat rather is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is. Empty as the devil's heart is actually pretty hilarious. Do you think perhaps it would be in your best interest to now admit that you might have been mistaken?
Why do I feel like something's not right here? I should like the jury to weigh on this matter, I think. Taking a sip. That compartment is designed to house the equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The Guild's rules state that omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times, so it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo isn't that irresponsible. Even though that money-lending fleecer and that pick purse are lying. Well, we no longer win. Oh, and that other guy hates liars. Yep.
I can't believe I was nearly taken in. That's stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, a lot of them. What?
Oh, no.
It's a trick. Of course it's a trick.
Oh, this might actually go all the way back over. Quite so, I must concur here. Oh, Granny's gonna hate that too, dude. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Yeah, but every time a different truth it seems. Okay, great, it's only half of them. That's fine. My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Thank you, counsel. I can see, but before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Yeah, I'm about to cross-examine the heck out of these two. They're about to get got. Counsel, for the defense, prepare the questioning of the witness, please. Yeah, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. No. I mean, we went from 6 to, from 0 to 4. It's fine. He only went from 6 to 3. We've beaten him on that regard, you know what I mean? Okay. What the girl saw. So I selected the carriage, looked up before they hooked up the horses. But it was a right waste of time. I got nothing to show for him or shovels. I'll tell you, I can't see a thing in that hiding place. It's pitch black in there. Then after a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jumped out of my skin, I did. And the scream just came out. So you screamed. Because of this, and he helped me get away, mind you. Okay, so let's start here. So you were really the first person on the omnibus. So you were already on the omnibus before we even set off its run. Well, yeah, I mean, what's the point in spending a day on a Joey to make a... Spending a Joey to make a few bob, eh? That's a rum idea, isn't it? I suppose she means there's no point spending money to make money. Yeah, it makes sense, yeah, very much so. Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief? Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants.
Well, that does clear up this little mystery affairs and all.
4 paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making 20, to which the cabman testified. And 1 little grace rather, riding for free. The red conch of a driver always goes for some grud before his last run, see? That's when I slip into the carriage and get myself out and under the seat. Nice and easy, right? But your hiding place is a storage compartment. Full of equipment for the coach, no? Not a word. Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck all that out and cram it in a corner somewhere. Really? No one ever seems to bother much. And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia. Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff so I could hide underneath the seat. That's all I can tell you. So we've reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue. Interesting. So you moved all of it out of the way. It was a right whole waste of time. I got nothing to show for my troubles last night. A waste of time? Why is that? I didn't make any money. Well, no. Most nights I'm on my own in the God permit at least some of the time. I beg your pardon? Did you say God permit? Oh yeah. That's what my con call it. I suppose the omnibus, I suppose. The point is, any normal run, the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while. And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away. That's it. Only that night, this cove was sat on me seat from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not an inch. I was totally stuck. Do you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time the events unfolded in the enclosed cabin? Yeah. Right, Meister? Mister? To be sure. I was as shocked as anyone. You didn't expect me to lift the cushion I'd been sitting on to find a child now, do you? So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then. I'll tell you, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch dark in there. She's right. It is pitch in there. You couldn't see out of the cabin at all, or out into the cabin. Whew. Oh, pardon me. Not a jot. Most days I push the cushion up, and with me head, and look out the crack. Then I can have butchers at who I'm gonna fiddle with. I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get under ain't plush as the other one. See? So most of the time the passengers plant themselves on the opposite. But for some reason that night, this Irishman spent the whole night riding over me head. And for that reason, you were able to push the cushion out to peek out. I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown into the clink. But it's the only place to hide in them carriages, so option's choice. They should probably, with this information, keep looking at those carriages then, and that seat. Why don't you just stick to the picking people's pockets in the open then? I'd say there's some reason she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor. So anyway, I was a bit scared, and I had to just stick it out under there, nothing else for it. Then after a while, I hear this big bang, nearly jumped out of my own skin. I did, and the scream just came out. The scream, your scream. I was gonna say it's interesting nobody else heard that scream from up top, but I guess that's not impossible, to be honest. When you said a loud bang, do you mean one of the noise of someone falling to the floor? Probably. Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump. And you let out a scream involuntarily? That's right. And then I felt the cushion over me get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim out, yeah? No? Or not. It could have equally been the moment where the accused stood in order to stab the victim, could it not? Well, girl, did you see what happened at that crucial moment? Yeah, I saw it. Oh. I pushed up the cushion and took a quick butcher's... oh my gosh. Had a quick butcher's while I had the chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up the bloke who had fallen onto the floor in the seat opposite. That matches Mr. McGilda's account, of course, but it seems like these two are working together, so... But then, the fella suddenly turns around and lets a look right at me. I sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. I should have never have risked looking. Because of that, this old swell found me. It did help me get away, mind you. And when Mr. McGilda discovered you, he pulled you out of your hiding spot? I was scared stiff, I was. He dragged me out and sat me down in the seat and all rather. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason. Yeah, the bloke had a knife in his guts and it was still bleeding. The carriage lurched a bit and he ended up falling onto me. Oh, if he fell onto you, we still don't have a murderer then, you know what I mean? Even if all of this proves, hey, she was on the bus and she had nothing to do with it, that's still bad for our client. You know what I mean? How awful. Both of me hands got covered in blood. It made me feel sick as a dog. Both her hands were covered in blood. That must have been what the rooftop passenger saw. And after that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilda for a while, is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know my name and what I was up to and all that. And then I heard something from up above. Someone screamed. Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, one would presume. But I didn't want no one seeing my face, so I didn't look up. And then the horses were drawn up smartish, and here's what the Irishman has to say to me. Get back under the seats. I'll see what I can. I'll see that you can get away later. All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent. For one brief shining moment, yeah? It's clear that they all are still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure we would cinch the verdict we want. Yeah, I think you're right, and I have this niggling feeling. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. Neither can I, because now I think we've pressed everything. What do we have in our... So we have the victim's leather gloves, the murder weapon. This thing is one of the few things that we just have, like, kind of nothing on, you know what I mean? M for McGilded. This, whatever, this is ours. He doesn't even really seem that bloody for real, for real. You know what I mean? I don't know what is really on about this specifically. I just feel like the blood itself is in, like, wrong positions. Like, I feel like it would be, like, down on him, you know what I mean? But whatever. Okay, so I snuck inside the carriage, and before they hooked up the horses, just like always, but it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I'll tell you, I can't see a thing in that. Oh, is it pitch black in there? In the hiding place? It should be, I would think. Then after a while, I heard this loud bang. I nearly jumped out of my skin, and and the scream just came out. It's because, it's because of that he found me, and he did help me get away. It's pitch black in that hiding spot is the thing that is... And this is also something, we snuck into the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always. That's got nothing. He is at the seat we think he's in. This is him and his gloves, and there's only blood on one. Omnibus. I feel like we're gonna have to present the omnibus at some point, and then we're gonna have to, like, present, oh my gosh, pick the spot where the omnibus is. Okay, I do wish that once I've seen that, I wouldn't have to like do anything else. But it is what it is. It is what is. So there is still blood on the seat, which is interesting, or I guess fine. This is the direction that he was in. Yeah. That's fine. Open this again. Something still doesn't seem right. What do you mean something doesn't seem right? It'd be kind of... I think it would actually be really crazy if, like, as you're looking down, you don't see anything, but then as you start to look up, like, there's a huge blood splatter right here. That'd be kind of crazy. I think I might understand what may have happened. It's something... I think I may have understood what happened. And I think it does implicate somebody who was on the roof, actually. There doesn't appear to be a handle or a catch of any description. It can't be opened from inside the cabin, at least. Inside the cabin is interesting. Does it have a latch at the top? It does. That's our solution. I see. You can see inside the cabin through this opening for sure. There's a lamp. I'm sure the witnesses will be able to see it. That's not good for us. It never mentions the latch there, but and from most angles you're not able to see it, but there is definitely a latch there. So our solution is there a world where he was not killed? Is there a world where he wasn't killed inside the omnibus at all? I think there is a real world where he was on the bus the whole time. Here's what my thing is now. My thing is and this man was so cold that he couldn't even like really do anything at this point. What I believe may have happened is Mr. McGilded was really conked out the entire time. Mr. Name of guy who was actually in the name of guy who was in the thing in the banker. Is it Mr. Barker or something? I don't remember. I think he and originally Mr. What's his face maybe were here, seated together, and then he kills him, and maybe puts the body down there, or maybe they were both in there and he, while he's asleep, opens this thing, comes in, kills him, and then climbs back up while it's open, all to his chagrin, not even realizing what's really happening, and then comes back up, or something of that nature happened. I think this latch wholly implicates whoever is on the roof, and just the fact that it can't be opened up on the inside is the thing. That's where I think we're going. And a lot of times in Phoenix Wright games, I'll come to the conclusion early. I just don't know how we're gonna get there. Because now I can see that world. We love to world build on this channel, and I think that is I think that's the world that I assume is the world we're living in, because I do think Mr. McGilded is innocent, but he can't see a way where he is innocent, so I don't know.
Hold it!
I actually didn't want to do that. I'm just trying to make sure that he's not like reacting on any of these, and I've just missed it. But the reaction thing is pretty like
Hold it!
it's pretty prim and proper, you know what I mean?
Excuse me.
Oh, I did not mean to do that. No, he doesn't have anything to say. That was entirely my bad. Hey, thank you. Hey, thanks for the tip, buddy. That's my boy. Okay, I'm glad that that doesn't, like, give me an L. That's really nice. Because I thought I had just, like,
Hold it!
taken an L there. Like that.
Well,
Oh.
no.
I swear he didn't do this the first time that I pressed this.
Excuse me.
Something wrong, Mr. McGilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Council? Dude, I was racking my brain because I was like, there's nothing I can present here, so I must be missing something during this cross-examination. Because I was going to say, the last time was pretty clear that, like, but I was like, maybe it was just a tutorial that had alerted me that somebody was reacting, you know what I mean? I'm just wondering if Mrs. Lestrad's last comments made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself, huh? Oh, no, it was nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass as all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad. Shut up in the dark was terrifying, so it was. I see, yep, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. Oh my gosh, Rinosuke. And I don't know about yourself, but I find all the darkness seems to make everything you hear about so much louder as well. True, yeah. Yeah. I suppose it does. Maybe. Miss Lestrade? Did you hear something that night? Anything, an unusual noise, perhaps? Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Bitch there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp. What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have been giving us a vital clue. Yeah. What should we make of that last? Oh no, it's profoundly important. He was asleep. You know what I mean? My lord? I need that added to the yeah. Profoundly important, but well, all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is profoundly important. I'm almost sure of it. Well, she said nothing but the snoring, right? I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council, nevertheless. Miss Gina, thank you. Something I can... What? Suppermint? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. It won't work well on me. Okay, well, insult the judge. That's always a good move. Good job, Gina. I was straining my ears to work out what was going on, and all I could hear was snoring. I still don't think I have anything to present on that, do I? No, so we're gonna press. I mean, we're gonna press on regardless. That makes sense. You were straining to hear what was happening the entire time since the moment you hid? Not exactly, no. Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push up the cushion of a butcher's to see have a butcher's. I didn't know that was a piece of slang. Maybe it's old English slang. To see what was what. Once again, I'm interested. I don't really know have a butcher's. I assume that's like sneak a peek, right? But I don't know where that vernacular actually comes to, or where that phrase relates to. But then, when I saw this swell getting on, I got me Ed down, so he didn't notice me. And Mr. McGilded sat under the seat which you were currently hiding. Yeah. And would you and would Adam and Eve it, and would you Adam and Eve it, eh? What a mug, huh? What? So all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out of there as soon as I heard him leave, huh? But would he? Not likely. Even though we stopped here and there, rather, I never heard the door open. Wait, what? Oh, that's really important. So I just stayed put and listened to driving his bigs to the market, snoring like a old dog he was. Huh. Are any of the conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? That doesn't quite add up. Mrs. Strad, what you just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. Oh, at odds? Are you sure, man? So then he may have actually been, then I think he actually was killed on the roof. And dropped down. Absolutely. It seems my learned Nepalese friends is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Van Zeeks realized it too. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some capacity, or some complicit party's name at the very least. What is he gonna ask me? Because my thing is, do I just need to, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilda snoring. Think, Rena, in this case, think. You did mention, so I guess we just submit the victim? There's something else she should have had. Forget it. I think we're gonna show a person. Should have saved. Allow me to elaborate. One, on a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The presence of this person. Hello. Oops.
Take that!
Yeah. We know that Mr. McGilda was on there first. Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade, cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. Ordar, explain your reason in counsel. Mrs. Strat, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on the board the omnibus, is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person on board the omnibus was Mr. McGill, did it? That it was. Not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed in aboard. At least not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time. Did I not say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. Against the world. And from what I've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? And we do know that What's-His-Face got onto the place first. What's-His-Face being, I definitely gotta just know his name at this point because I think he is our #1 suspect. Bruce Fairplay. I think Fairplay got on before, he definitely got on before first. Even though his name is first, which is not wrong. It seems like he got on last on that night, you know what I mean? Continue. Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, weren't it? Waiting for this swell to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? Ah. We all know the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statements about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Ah. Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zeeks. Yes. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency within her statement. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more. He's dead right. That makes no sense whatsoever, and this girl is a pickpocket, let's not forget that. Oh, she's ready to throw. She didn't even say a word before, she was just like, we throwing. Ah, she didn't even say anything, right, exactly. I didn't want to judge the little dearie mite because she had some rather naughty ways, but I must say, I cannot abide liars. And neither can I. Mr. Foreman, I did not want to judge the girl just because she has done some less than salubrious things, but I must say, I cannot abide liars. He was just looking for an excuse to throw guilty again. And here's the problem. I think we're about to go to 6 one more time. Ah. Mr. Naruhodo, that's 5 leaning towards guilty. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To considerable troubles, rather, you have spared me. I'm about to trouble you a little bit more, my guy. Yes, very refreshing. Ah! Ow, my back! My spine! Ah, what are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadon? This is carnage, it's perfect. Juror number 2 is the only one left. Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going, I know, if we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilda's innocence, the judge will rule me and we'll have lost. Well, judge will rule rather and we'll have lost. Don't you throw your fist up! I very much wanted to believe in the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Stop it! Thank you. Yeah, I was gonna say, you need to stay stopping, my dude. You gotta stop people from throwing down their fists. You have a voice. Yes, the witness's last statement does seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency into her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may rather shed an entire new light on this whole case. What are you saying? She was like, huh? Counsel? I'm sorry, sir? Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my education. Explain yourself at once. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not opened a single time, rather, as testified by the witnesses in the stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? There's only one who will explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. I don't believe he was put there after he died. I do think he probably, I don't know. I do think he was properly killed in there. There's another entrance. If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
I wonder what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the cabin is furnished with a door, the other only has windows, fixed windows, which cannot possibly be opened. In short, there is no entrance to the cabin other than the door. Yeah, that's if you look horizontally, but look vertically. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes! One other way inside the cabin that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear in the cabin, inside the enclosed cabin. Everyone's like, what is he talking about? Alright, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. Okay, well, I guess I think I was on something. I was like, I always like to believe my homie. Even though he is definitely lying to try and create his own story, that story is not the truth. I'm here to find the truth. That's my job as the Ace Attorney, baby. Put me over there, present that bad boy, take that. He was dropped in from the roof. The answer is obvious. It can only have been through the skylight. I say the skylight. It's got a latch. Go and say objection. Yeah, I hear you, Von Zeeks. Your ludicrous proposal almost has me at a loss for words. However, hey, well, I'm about to have you to stop for words, so shut up and let me talk. The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through. So you claim, but do you have a shred of evidence rather to support your able brain theory? No. Yes? Both Mr. McGilden and Miss Lestrade said the same thing in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained, as the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with a dagger. Yeah, it has, but would a man slipping from his seat onto the floor really have made such a loud sound as the witnesses described? That is really fair. A noise loud enough to cause Mr. Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact? Good gracious. Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it. And now, you're now suggesting the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin. That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen in through the skylight as you said, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Well, yeah, that's true, but hold it. McGilden? Might a humble fellow make a wee comment here? Mr. McGilden? To be sure now, the two fellows who were sat at the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling to the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not much a case of them not saying, but aye, 'tis a case of them being unable to say. What? Because one of them was the killer. I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what be happening. Would yous not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? He's out here defending himself. Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof? You mean the ones who stuck the knife in the man were? Yeah, I was gonna say, at this point in time, that is a real possibility, and he's about to hold it again? Uh-oh, they both came back, huh? Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer? You rotter, he said, you rotter! Oh my gosh, man's just throwing that dumpy around! You rotter, he said, you rotter, what are you insinuating? It is a flaming outrage. I've got a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute. He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I. Mr. Fairplay? You're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker, and me, a very angry hatter, a mad hatter, in fact, suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. It's... I protest. I'll protest to the strongest possible of terms. That's right, I protest too, about you, you rotten scoundrel. And I'll rock him, and I'll suck him. He was really giving me some Scrappy-Doo energy right there. Order. This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. This is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Mr. Von Zeeks, Lord Von Zeeks. It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accuse? I never intended to. It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. Oops! You proposed to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot be possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have imitated their criminal guilt. I thought it was just one of them, but I guess maybe it could be. In our British courts, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. I know it was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are you wasting time for? Get them to testify. Okay. Hey, never mind. The jury wants them to testify. I guess I did a good job. I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on that fella. We have to see this matter through now, one way or another. If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once. And the whole court's out here. What's happening, Mr. Naruhodo-san? I swirled up a whole bunch of controversy, Susato. I done did it this time. They're in a frenzy, dude. Mr. Fair Play and Mr. First. My lord. You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought here by the defense. Yes, my lord. I did come here for this. I didn't come here for this. You didn't come here for this. And this man's just like, tee-hee. I done did it. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward, and this is where I'm going to say it. You guys will see probably this episode out through the end, but I'll be recording more of it tomorrow. I do not have time right now, so I will be right back. It's giving Dory. Keep pushing forward. Just keep swimming. Also, the face is given very fish. I'm sorry. I just started this game. Alright, let's see what these dummies have to talk about. Refuting the accusation. We were the only two people up on that roof deck, dead or alive, I can swear to that. Hold on, objection! I guess he wasn't on the deck, he was on the driver's seat. I was just gonna pull out Beppo. If anything had happened, were we just, we're sitting rather, don't you think one of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it, I tell you. The man's like, if you're so sure the victim fell to the skylight, where's your proof? I don't think we have any. There's a classic Ace Attorney, where's your proof? I ain't got none, but have some circumstantial evidence. I must say that listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine. How either witness could have performed this, any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith. That's, so either they're both in on it, or, well, I'm trying to think, I was trying to think specifically what was, well, nobody came in, and she was the first one on the thing, and she shoved the stuff into the corner. I was trying to think to myself if the stuff that is used to keep the cart running, you know, the driver stuff, if that was instead, like, used in some way, shape, or form. But we actually never even really, well, I guess we did see it technically at one point. That's right, you see?
Witness, and I tell you.
Though logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you are in collusion with one another. What? Eh? Right. According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses shared no common dealings.
Ha! Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Alright, you know what?
Maybe he's on to something. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy? Well, I don't like the sound of that. I really don't like the sound of that. This man is like, why do I feel so uneasy? Ah, yeah, my lord. Like we're about to fall into a trap or something. Or that our guy really did do it. Yeah, we're gonna press immediately. You know what we do here? So no time to the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck? Absolutely not. Dickin'.
No question about about it, rather, he said. None at all. Oh, but yes, of course, I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the closed cabin, talking with this man here.
Is that true, Mr. McGilden?
Dear me, my lord, at the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately.
That's an outright lie. Without doubt, you were engaged in...
Let me stop you there, fellow, and ask, do you have any evidence at all?
Ah.
'Tis all about evidence in the court these days, so it is. You do well to remember that.
I saw you with my own eyes. What if this really is just like an open and shut case and Mr. McGilden did it? As like an Ace Attorney fan, I always like to believe in my client. You know what I mean? That's what Phoenix taught me, dude. However, it's hard to believe in Mr. McGilden. This is going so well.
If anything,
I can't press them immediately. I have to wait for the statement to finish. I was clicking that press button immediately. Well, it was the final run of the omnibus at past 10 rather, o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark out, perhaps too dark to see clearly. Is this some kind of lark?
Is this some kind of joke you said? Is that what it is?
Or perhaps one or the other one of you fell asleep briefly? Are you fair dinkum, sir?
Are you serious, sir? That's what he said? It's impossible, I tell you.
I'd give you the key to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bit of code. If you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you'd never open them again. I think you would just have to get to the warmth and they would unfreeze, but okay. That's extreme.
It was extreme, I tell ya, and we had to put up with it because this man had locked the door.
Then who locked the door? I guess it would have had to be someone who was on the top, they slipped in, which means the driver really wasn't paying attention here.
Any intruder would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked.
I'm dreadfully sorry about that, young fella.
Just see, I was away with the fairies and didn't hear you at all. That's a lie. I saw you right through the glass. You were talking to someone. Now, 'twas a cold night, it was. People do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold. 'Tis hardly surprising. Seeing things.
Like, what if he was really talking to him? You know what I mean? There might be, I think we're still missing, like, a little portion of something in this. Anywho, I believe we have reached an impasse here on this particular point.
You! Don't take it personally, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, then it's only fair that you and I are, that you and the other fiend are too. Open and free competition is what the capitalist society is all about. This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really.
In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Well, is that true?
Hold it!
Press. You never met Thrice Byron Mason before? Oh, Loom. No, not once, never.
He never met the man before, he said. Never.
And you, Mr. First, you had no prior dealings with the victim either?
That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much in common with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir.
No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have the... the remotest connection to the gentleman who was inside the cabin. Okay, sir.
Excuse me.
Mr. McGilden, I was gonna say there is one connection that at least 2 of them have, and it's this here little ledger. They're both in there. Try to be 2. That is one thing I don't enjoy about this game, is that I get that entire dialogue again. Well, I can't see their names in here, so whatever. I thought they were written cleanly, but I completely forgot, apparently.
Yes, Counsel, what can I be doing you for?
Did the last one is a statement to give you pause for thought somehow?
Not the remotest connection. Is that right now, I wonder?
What are you insinuating now?
Ah, Mr. Fairplay, 'tis been too long, so it has.
Eh?
If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe 'tis fast approaching, is it not, your repayment date?
I beg your pardon?
You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir.
At an unconsiderable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion.
Well now, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fella to pass his crimes off to another.
See, it really might not be him. It really might be Mr. McGilda.
And young first. Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir? You do be making hats for a living, do you not? And that there top hat is sliding off your head. Is it one of your own creations? Is it? You must suck as a hatter. Oh, well, I'm still just an apprentice, you understand? I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever gent walks through the door. The perfect fit, is it not? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design, so it is. Many customers like it, I tell ya. They like a distinctive touch, they do. Customers such as Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason.
Oh. Well then. That man did have a fun-looking hat. He did have a hat of a similar design. He's on to something. Okay, I'm gonna let the man cook.
Ah! There was a photograph print of the victim submitted as evidence before, my lord.
This you mean.
I can't help thinking that the poor fellow's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say? Oh. That's one of my hats. That it is. So it seemed the brickmaker rather, was a customer of yours. The sort of customer I'd wager could have a wee quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. No, sir, absolutely not, sir. Well, there's nothing more to be had. There's really nothing more to be had, do you think? It wouldn't be right to say to 2 fellas here haven't the slightest remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest me case.
You little weasel. He's better at this than I am, right, dude? I was gonna say, he's cooking. I really want to believe in my client. I really do. He's making it hard.
Gosh, Mr. McGilda certainly has been through thorough research, hasn't he?
Unless he like set all of this up, you know what I mean?
Please don't let me interrupt your little hold up in the proceeding.
Hat hunter is apparently an achievement or something. Okay.
The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell ya. We couldn't possibly have opened it, you see?
I would like this one, actually. Did he not amend that to his stuff? I don't think he did. Alright, we'll do this one next.
Hold it!
Are you quite certain about that? It was shut the entire time? I'm gonna lose my block with you in a minute.
He's gonna lose his rag with you in a minute, that's what he said.
Take a look for yourself, go on. You see it's shut fast now, just like it was on the night.
Ah, so it is. Of course, a fella the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right to it, still and all.
What?
the size of that thing, you understand?
Now you hold on there a minute, sir. The size of that ting means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting our cane, shall we?
I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when I broke wind loudly and I shocked myself with it. Oh my gosh. With it as it happens.
You farted? This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First.
Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see? But just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as, Rogue. I went as red as Rogue, rather, I did.
Are you expecting me to sentence you?
Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be open. I tried and tried, and when I was in...
That ain't...
Yeah, I was gonna say, it can be opened.
Excuse me.
From the outside. Dunka 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 wow. Boom boom. Okay, that's okay, continue. Hey, what you got, Miss Lestrade? Gina!
It opens. Huh? The skylight. That's what you're talking about, right?
Wait, hold on. Chill, 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 chill. Come on.
All them skylights open, dead easy.
More easily than you can load that weapon?
Yes. That's a lie, I tell ya. Otherwise, when I broke wind, I...
You can't do it from the inside, you mug.
Ow. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck, one of them drags, rather. And I had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out my ears.
Miss Lestrade, now is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities.
Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, and I couldn't up off the bus and leg it. So what I did was, I used a skylight, opened the catch, and jumped right through.
What?
Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why I can't open them from inside the cabin.
Which I think is silly, but you know, it is what it is.
The skylight opened from the roof deck?
Bailiff. Climb up on that omnibus at once and verify the witness's claims.
Kerslash? Oh my hat! You see.
Order, order, order. So it appears the street girl statement is quite true.
I don't believe it. The skylight opens.
Oh man, I looked at it, dude. I even knew it opened.
And from the deck, Mr. Naruhodo. This could be the clue that we've been waiting for.
Well, yeah, okay, so did that update my, Oh, I need to Okay. Ridiculous, first of all. Alright, let's go back and examine again. Please don't have to get inside the omnibus. I was here before.
The skylight was fastened shut before, but now the catch has been undone, so we should be able to open it.
There it is. Whoa, it's open.
You can certainly see the inside of the carriage through the opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp. Okay, well, whatever.
That's not good for us. I mean, now it's actually pretty good for us, to be honest. Oh! Oh. Well, isn't that incriminating? No, I don't. Dude, no, shut up. There's literally blood on the inside, dude. Move, move, move. There. Right there. Right there. Right there. Okay, well. That's all I needed to see, I suppose. Yeah, I can just present this now. I got proof. Apparently, I don't have proof. Apparently not. What implications, Council? Nothing strikes me about it. Exactly, nothing striking about it. I probably have to press on this. They're gonna do that. They're gonna do those shenanigans again. I'm gonna have to press, and then it's gonna be like, yeah, where is your proof? Proof? That's right, I demand to hear it.
We came to here to say what we saw, I tell you, not for this.
But you call us both, shysters, branded us as criminals.
You call us liars, that's what he means. You accuse us of doing it.
As it stands at the moment,
there's no hard evidence incriminating yourselves now, is there? I believe we're in much the same position as one another here.
If I don't crack this case soon, he'll crack his teeth, It's hard to believe. I think we should try and remember that it's evidence alone that can truly determine the outcome of this trial. Evidence. No one can argue against decisive evidence, including the members of the jury. So you're saying what we need now is to find a... Did I just, like, not properly click this? Because, like, there's a... This seems pretty conclusive to me, you know what I mean? And I can't really get another angle on it is the problem. Oh, you know what I might have to do? Do I have to do this and then go inside and then look up? Because if that's the case, I'm going to be moderately furious. Well, look up blood. Why'd I have to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruto? Chill. Why someone like me? Ah! What is it? Look, just there. Look at this. That's, without question, it's blood. Why would there be a bloodstain here? Surely, it can't be unrelated to the case, can it? Okay, great. Awesome. I'm gonna score him. I was out here like, well, I can't click it. I had to click it from a different... if you can't get it from one specific angle, you gotta get yourself to another angle. I guess I've learned that early. Take me to statement 5. I'm going. I presented the right thing. I didn't. Here's your proof. You son of a gun. Dang dirty. No, just present the whole thing. It's up
Objection.
Here. I was right, but I was wrong. On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. And immediately afterwards, the victim was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts. And the irrefutable proof, rather, remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. Which means Scotland Yard did a freaking terrible job. That's utter humbug. You can't possibly have any evidence.
No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible.
Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. Counsel, my lord, I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here. Where exactly within the omnibus is this where you allude to? Alright, you will point it out. Yep, I got you. All you gotta do is look up to the sky. For a second there, I was like, where did it go? Who removed this? Here, check that out.
Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it?
Wide enough to... I need to present. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, Suzuto, I understand. I clicked the wrong button. Whoa, bloodstain. Surely it can't be unrelated to the case. Whoa. By Jupiter, is that tomato? No, it is blood. This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell to the opening, unless during the smoky time, they took some blood and then smeared it on the opening.
Oh my.
And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. No! Alright, now if everybody else could swap back to innocent. Ordar. Who's holding it? but the blood could have sprayed up where the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin.
And only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight. Oh, sure, that would be very convenient. And let's keep it in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But there's no way to know for certain, is there? I mean, if that gent really felt the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. Forrester? Tis all too plain to see, if you see. There's the aftermath of the, that shows the poor fella dropped from a fair height right there, so it is.
What? No.
But it can't be, it's
lies! We're holding. My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we?
I believe we can, yes. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom.
I think it might still be Mr. McGilded somehow, dude.
So they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they?
You done? Okay. I won't tolerate any of the guild's characters being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it.
Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful part couldn't have done such a thing.
On 3 then, everyone. 1, 2. Can I get an objection from, Von Zeeks? 3.
Objection!
Okay, I figured. I was gonna say, the last thing you're gonna be like, you ain't got it yet. Chilling performance, Mr. McGilded.
Oh, and what would ye be referring to right now, Lord Van Zeeks?
A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void.
What? Why?
For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
What are you talking about? It's there for all to see. It's clearly blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. Does that include the opening? So I can state with absolute surety that no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least not until this trial began. But here's the problem. We didn't actually look at that part. Are you suggesting, Lord Van Zeeks, that that stain of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes. And while this court has been in session. What? Well, now I don't know. I have thought to myself that's a possibility.
What a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such cruel reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zeeks. But I'm Mr. Magnus McGilded, a fellow known all over the capital for these fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affair of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens, the case you're involved with is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? Allow me to pour myself a drink. When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. The impossible is possible as long as you pay the money. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast to your ability to concoct the most convenient stories, sir.
Tut tut, Lord Van Zeeks. This will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel?
Huh? Oh, no.
I think it's fair to say this does sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on Skylight didn't exist, you say. But if y'all cast your minds back, Isn't that true that the omnibus has been in this courtroom the entire time? How could anyone have possibly put a smear of blood in its, without the world rather than his wife scene? Isn't that right now, Counsel?
Well, there was technically a way. It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time the court has been in session.
My learned friend.
Here's to hearing your opinion on the matter, in your own words. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the evidence during the trial? It's not out of the question, and I know I have to click that to find the truth of this trial, man. It wasn't out of the question. It could have happened during the smoke out with the. It could have been old girly. I'm trying to. So it would have been opened. Where would she have gotten the blood? You know what I mean? Because the blood, I assume the blood that's in there is not still wet. It would have had to have time to dry, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, but I guess maybe he's Mr. McGill and maybe he had a plan, you know what I mean? Hello? Okay, there we go. I didn't have audio for a second. Okay, let's do this. What am I doing? What were we at? It's been a couple of hours. I had to take a brief intermission. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial, if you're asking me, I think? No, it could have been possible. I think we have to say that, right? If we want to get to the truth of this case. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best as I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. The truth? There's no evidence to suggest the defendant did, as my learned friends suggest. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the tampering, there is one possibility. Oh. Good gracious, did everyone forget about the smoke attack? Is everyone an idiot? Does nobody in Great Britain at this juncture have logical reasoning? Yes, there is. It seems my learned Japanese friend has no intention of running from this deceit. Deceit? I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. What's going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face, huh? Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus, huh? I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure that the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. The courtroom was filled with smoke and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. Okay, get inside, I understand. Okay. Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten feckless gouger? Feckless gouger? You're supposed to be defending me. 'Tis a wicked plot. 'Tis a plot to undermine me, so
Objection.
it is. Did he do it? Then maybe that was planted evidence. Continue. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies such as... Is this a rigged trial? Did he do it? Am I supposed to lose? To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I've said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, Lord Van Zeeks, no one is able to corroborate your claims.
That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. Well, we know about the storage compartment. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is a result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. What do you think? Sorry? About the omnibus, is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? Is there? Probably. I guess? My lord. I should have saved. Yes, counsel. There's one further inconsistency. Is there? A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. What? What? What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare betray me a little— Ooh, couldn't even finish that because man said, Silence, McGilden. The court awaits the defense's clarification. I think he did it. The trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here? I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. I have no idea. What exactly is the alleged mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial? That's not this? Oh, Lord have mercy. I can't open that. It's not that. Is there blood on the floor? That is different. No? Oh, I can move this around. Was this always on the floor? I don't think this was always on the floor, was it? Didn't we just have this bloodstain and not the bloodstain on the floor too? This is wrong, right? I don't know if I'm going crazy or not. This is okay, so this is the not benefit of playing these like a week apart. Because I'm actually pretty sure I was like, oh my gosh, there's blood here. Because then blood here, I think we would have immediately clocked if there was blood here, that there would have been like, oh, they came from the roof. I actually don't believe this was here at the start. I'm actually like pretty sure now. That's blood, isn't it? Is something wrong? Oh, it's just, well, this bloodstain's so obvious, that's all, and yet Van Zieks has made no mention of it. I suppose that does seem a little strange. Why do I have such a bad feeling about this?
Got it!
I think that was right. We consider that the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin. You would certainly expect to find some signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this bloodstain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think I remember it being there. I think I only remember the blood on the chair, and I was trying to hope to see if there was like blood inside of the thing, and I think that was the only bloodstain. Good lord. Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe that that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that that evidence is fake. Oh no, is this game gonna be a lot more about we have a bunch of falsified evidence in these cases? Oh, he's not happy. I think he really did it. This trial is over. Mr. McGilden? I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but 'tis all over now. But you're the defendant. 'Tis over, I tell ye. Oh my gosh, maybe I don't like Mr. McGilden so much, huh? Memory, recollection, what people think they saw. 'Tis all a nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is that bloodstain is there, now.
Well... And over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, Ted Good-for-Nothing Reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all.
Well, he's got me there.
I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Zeeks. Well, my lord?
I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollection of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence. And in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I reckon to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue. Your lordship can't be serious, huh? Lord Van Zeeks, what is your position? The prosecution, my lord. Oh my gosh! Has no further witnesses or evidence to present. I think it's fascinating in this game, and maybe I'll talk about this after the trial, because I don't know if we, because the Phoenix Wright games have had moments where they're, or Ace Attorney games have moments where we're like, haha! One final piece of evidence to turn this whole case on its head! In that case, I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter. I shall proceed with my education. As a formality, I am, of course, obliged to confirm with the defense first. What formality? As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGilda will not be found guilty. Yeah. Which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome here? Like, is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now with all these unexplained inconsistencies? Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please. Yes, my lord. The defense believes... I hate this. I hate this. Could be guilty, but like as a defense attorney, I should always believe in my client. Like, here's the thing: what if there is a world where he did not kill this man, and maybe he's trying to like, maybe it really was the girl who killed the man. She was actually in there. So here's the thing: he probably paid her handsomely. This is probably what actually happened. He paid her handsomely to do the things. The defendant could be guilty. I'm just gonna say it. Maybe I should say it first. We haven't saved it real quick. Say it right there real quick. Thank you. I'm gonna say he could be guilty. I'm here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGilda. However, at this moment in time, I cannot in all good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence. What are you saying, man? Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent. Good gracious me. Oh, McGilda is not happy that we said that. He about to kill us off. Order. This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer. Calling the accused's innocence into question? Are you of sound mind? Oh, it was a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was a grand decision. What? I must say, I didn't expect you to quite such an exciting spectacle at the end there, but still, here. Thank you. Have this for your troubles, huh? Ah. Your job here is done, fella. And some fine work you've done, so you have. Huh? You almost found out the truth, huh? What do you mean? 'Tis just as the right honorable gentleman so scrutinies, succinctly, I can read, succinctly put it afore. The trial cannot go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how he put it now, nothing but a formality. Oh my gosh, he did it. I'm never believing in my client again. Phoenix Wright lied to me. Maybe in the future it's okay to do that, but you know what? Now, back in the day, everybody's guilty. I really don't know what to make of this. Was the evidence we've seen genuine or was it fake? His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said. Typey to type. The stinking rich are always guilty of something. You mark my words. I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us a lovely park. Oh, they're all over the place, dude. Now that proceedings have unfolded this way, I'm compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept a defendant's plea. The defendant's plea of not guilty. I thank you kindly, my lord. Is this really gonna end like this? I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Objection!
There is an objection, okay. But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if the witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth. Lord Van Zeeks, my lord. The case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. Oh, man. Oh. My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
So someone in the comments last time said something along the lines of he's not undefeated. So I do wonder if McGilded is really like the big boss of this first game. You know what I mean? Because it was a two-game kind of thing. Admittedly, I thought that the big boss of this first game would be the woman who we let go in the first case, or we declared her guilty, but she kind of essentially had diplomatic immunity or something of the like. So she was just sent back to Europe, or Great Britain. When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zeeks ordered the evidence to be secured. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter. That's so unfair! So I wonder if all of his losses actually came from shenanigans like this, and maybe shenanigans like fiddled with by Mr. McGilded. I wonder if Mr. McGilded really is like this son of a gun, trash, rubbish, human being who is kind of like almost a mobster low-key in this place. Anywho, consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment. Oh, what? Well, Lord Von Zeeks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. As for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. Do you mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time? 'Tis the law of the land, my good man. Oh, I do wonder. I do wonder if. I think if you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. I wonder if that is what Asogi wanted to do. Maybe that was a part of something that he needed to do. I'm very curious to see what that was. I assume that it was more so try that girl here for trying to blame a murder on us, but maybe it's something bigger than that. Maybe just try and change the law, change the world for the better, so the courts are not just a sham and that they mean something. I'm very curious. Magnus McGilded. Good grief, you've more to say to me, have you? Just one thing, a warning. This is far from over. Well, something to be looking forward to then. This is far from over. I guess we will see him again. Okay. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGilded. This feels so wrong. And I think this is so telling. Because usually in this like Phoenix Wright not guilty portion, or this Ace Attorney not guilty portion, you'll have the confetti. You have, I don't even think they have the fireworks, but they'll have like the confetti playing usually. However, it'll usually be people cheering, but instead they're saying this is an outrage, this man's been cleared, he's innocent, etc., etc. Fascinating. With the courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict, and my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end. With the defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us. However, it sure really does not feel like it, and I am not a fan. Great, I want to say great ending to that case. And I kind of hope that it really does set the tone of either going after Mr. McGilded or that we can't trust all the evidence that we're getting. Continue. We'll see. That certainly was a long trial. Yeah, it was. Your first ever trial on foreign soil, rather, and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. It doesn't feel good, Susato. And to you, Miss Susato, thank you for your assistance. But, I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We'll never know. We don't even know that. I do wonder if we'll ever find out. Like, in the world... The easy answer is Mr. McGilded got his hands dirty, stabbed a man. That being said, I'm going in like circles saying, why would he do that if he knows the two people are up there, unless he's trying to like do something about them? Man, there's like a couple of I'm gripped. We'll continue. You carried out your duty to perfection. Aye, that you did. Mr. McGill did. And that girl was with him too. Well, it seems that the stories are true. Oh, what stories, huh? About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when when there's a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yeah, definitely. I've heard it was a sight to behold, but to be sure it was. And I have you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. I don't know about that. I'm not really sure I did anything. Oh, what are you saying, fella? How did I walk out of there a free man then? I don't think it was so much as a thanks to me down to your planning. You're a straight talker, fella, aren't you? I must say, you had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. 'Tis water under the bridge. Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared. But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? Aye, money. They've all seen I didn't do that odious and abstinent deed. 'Tis grand, is it not? I suppose it is. I'm not sure if everyone believes that now, though. Now to fine fellows of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I've absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing them a good number of their wages with the taxes I pay. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. I fear he may be a villain, you guys. It's not that funny. So then, as we agreed beforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept that much. Ara, be whist, you're a humble person, are you, from the east? Well, if you insist. But have this. And, still in all, rather, you deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McGilded? The bailiff? Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me to the courtroom. Into the courtroom for what? What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I would have led to believe. Hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule.
Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for a tea inspection.
I'm sorry? What inspection?
They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it to myself.
They're going to examine it again? Now?
Naturally, I'm over no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help where I can. 'Tis a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fare thee well. 'Twas an absolute pleasure meeting yous. I hope ye have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain. I'm sure we'll meet again.
Oh boy. He doesn't really give me like a final boss of the game vibe though. The dude who we met earlier who gave us this opportunity feels like the big boss of the game, not for nothing. Let me get his name right, because he'll be important. Strongheart. Yeah, Strongheart feels like the big boss of the game. There he goes, a free man. And what's up? I forgot she was here too. Oh, we're gonna die. Hey, hold on. We have a lot of time to get away here. Don't move. Whereas I want to say, get a move on. She really does take forever to load that thing. Laval, that's actually really funny. Mrs. Fred, would you mind putting that thing down?
You're a grown-up.
Sorry?
And I ain't all grown-ups.
Ah, there you are. Whose small child is... Oh my gosh. She has the plus goggles. You're affiliated with him, aren't you? Look, as a goggle aficionado myself, I know a pair of goggles when they have some sort of relation. You his daughter? Does Sherlock Holmes have a daughter?
Naughty, naughty, running off like that.
Some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now? So is she actually important to the story? Oh, interesting.
And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to try one of my experimental smoke gun grenade launcher.
Ha! What? Is that a bazooka?
Oh, you want to play? You won't beat me.
Grr. She pulled out a bazooka. That's crazy. She's nuts. Excuse me, but who are you?
Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. The inventor? Well, normally smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. So you have to be shrouded in smoke, so it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself.
Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though? At all?
I just took my eyes off of it for a moment whilst I was changing into a different omnibus, and she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon.
What's it who? I have no idea what this little girl's talking about.
Anyway, you're coming with me, back to my laboratory.
Little Dexter?
What? What for? To apologize, of course, silly, to my technician.
What?
You mean, say sorry? Say sorry. You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before.
I hate adults.
I don't listen to no adults. Well, you'll listen to me because I have a bazooka. Come along then, follow me.
Fine, have it your way.
Oh, good. Goody gumdrops. You see, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end.
I'm fairly sure that what she wants to do is not get shot by that massive gun of hers. Literally bazooka with the eyepiece, too. We won't make her upset. We can take a Suzuto toss. We can't take a gun to the chest. A bazooka to the chest.
We'll be leaving now. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss.
Bye, small pink child. She was a lively one. Where are we going? Now, actually.
Well, do you think we perhaps ought to be on our way too?
Yeah, you're right, but where to?
Oh,
we haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. All of our travel cases are still with the bailiff. That's really funny.
I was originally planning to spend today rather in search of lodgings, but at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck.
Don't worry though, I have a plan. If worst comes to worst, I've heard of a lovely park we could spend the night in. It's called McGilded Park. Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park. I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through. I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one. Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable. And now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down, right? 1,000 guineas would have been real nice right now. That 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room or a mansion. Alright, well, I guess that's our... yeah. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of the first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead, of course. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned, the case was far from over. Yeah, I assume we'll see McGilded again. I assume he'll be like a final... what is this?
What's going on? Get the fire brigade!
Oh my gosh!
Bring water, quick! What? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating. No. Oh, good God.
Someone's in there?
There's someone in there.
Where's the judge? Oh my gosh, this is an inferno, dude. The courtroom's burning down.
This can't be.
This can't be.
It can be. I did it, and I'll do it again.
Maybe he did it and he'll do it again, actually. I hope it wasn't McGilded in there. Maybe we won't see McGilded again. Oh my gosh. Unless this is going to be another trial. Really, literally a continuation of this one, except, hey, there's a new murderer. Okay, I guess that's probably where we're going to end today. Dang, I guess next time we'll start episode 4, The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Although I feel like we haven't really done too... I feel like we have time to go a little bit longer. Actually, this part right here is 30 minutes. I know we're at least... I think we're under 2 hours this time, but I think we're at a pretty decent location. That's fine. Oh, hey. I didn't know there was like a whole episode menu here. I don't even want to look at like the... oh yeah, see look, there's only 5 episodes and... oh, we're a good chunk of the way through this then. We're about to start episode 4 out of 5 for this game, and I guess the other game also probably has 5 episodes. Very good. The Adventure of the Unspeakable Story. Very neat, very cool. Okay. Then yeah, I would like to go to the title menu so that we can actually get some music as I close. So, I had some thoughts. However, now I don't know what those thoughts are because Mr. McGilded could be dead in there is my other thing. He also could be the cause of the fire, but the fact that whole man was smiling, I think McGilded might be a goner. He might be a McGoner. I thought this was fascinating. Because I truly and sincerely was not expecting that to happen. I was not expecting that specifically to happen. I was not ready for, cause, hey, if you've played a lot of Ace Attorney, you always believe in your client. To the bitter end. Unless your client has literally admitted to wrongdoing, which has happened, I think, on one occasion. It caught me a little bit off guard, because I was like, okay, you're tampering with evidence, but I feel like there's still a world where he's tampering with evidence, but like, the truth is still like, in the fold here. That being said, he pretty much, during that spot, created the whole, he had incredible planning. Man, Mr. McGilded, you're supposed to be my rich dude. He also might be a dead dude. As now it turns out, I actually don't know if it's gonna be Van Zieks or more specifically, Strongheart that's gonna be like our big villain of this journey. That's I find that interesting. Or yeah, I could see it being Strongheart. I think Strongheart. Just in the sense that if we want to change the law, maybe he is. I don't know. He's very time centric, something of that nature. I'm leaning there. I also don't know what Asogi is like. He's coming here for a specific reason. Originally I thought it might have been something as small as trying that girl from the first trial, which I don't know if that's true anymore, but I do think she's going to come into play. I'm excited for that. Fascinating. I don't know. I'm gonna sleep on this one, but I'm enjoying this. That was a good trial. It did catch me off guard. It caught me off guard that it just ended in a, hey, we did win. Hey, you got that not guilty verdict. However, it seems like London politics or Great Britain politics are really running amok right now. And that's bad. Honestly, their court, I don't want to say is in more shambles than we had in our one court case in the East, but it's very much in shambles. I hope that there is kind of an investigation portion this time, because we didn't actually get any investigation of a crime scene other than the crime scene that made its way to the courtroom. I enjoyed having a crime scene literally in the courtroom, but I would love to like be on the scene of a crime scene and say, hey, this is this, and then like walk around a setting. We'll see if we're able to do that. I'm unsure. But we will take off to next time. I enjoyed that one a lot. I think that is my favorite of the episodes we played so far. Just because it felt like such a tight case. I think it displayed all of the functions and I guess features of a Great Britain trial, but it also did a good job of showing off some of the, I suppose, the faults of a trial like this. The faults of, hey, this is happening for X, Y, and Z, but at the end of the day, someone can tamper with a crime scene and can tamper with evidence. And I think that's really more so why I want to be like, okay, let me get onto the crime scene. Because here's the thing, I feel like if we got onto a crime scene and then we actually have a crime scene that's put in front of us afterwards, we could be like, hey, this doesn't match what we had earlier. That being said, Ryunosuke feels like he has such a bad memory. And I think this is more Ryunosuke. He needs to more so trust his gut. And I get it, it's his first trial. Admittedly, in his first trial, maybe you really shouldn't be like, okay, it is my first trial. I don't really trust my gut, but something doesn't feel right here. And so, in a sense, actually, I enjoyed that in terms of a little bit of extra storytelling as well. And I'm sure we'll see him progress later on over the course of the rest of this game and, of course, the next game. We'll see how it plays out. I want to fulfill Asogi's wish, and we're going to do it together. Until next time, we'll start episode 4, Toodaloo Flight Crew. As always, thank you for watching.